What's up, everybody? It's your boy Matt for Quarantine with Jesus. I'm glad you guys are tuning in to the podcast. Well, you're probably wondering how exactly we got this podcast to be created and distributed. We use Anchor. Anchor is a free app that allows anybody to make their podcast and allows their podcast to be distributed to apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Just download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Appreciate it.
What's up, y'all? Let's talk about it. The groundbreaking experience. It's Keshon, Manny, and Zozo today. We're talking about relationships. But let's start off with a little icebreaker. So, what's more scary out to y'all? Deep, deep outer space or deep, deep underneath the ocean?
Yo, that's a great question. Let me tell you why it's a great question. I have two perspectives on both. I'm going to say, so to answer the question, I'm going to say deep, deep, deep in the ocean. Outer space is tricky. Honestly, I really don't care. I'm going to say what I'm about to say. I believe if we really want to deal with pollution, let's start dumping trash out of space. Like, think there's mad space out there. Like, let's just dump trash out of space. Let it float. Let it do whatever it got to do. But deep down in the ocean, that's scary, yo. Like, there's some deep sea creatures that we have no clue exist. Like, we have no clue the depths of the ocean. I saw a video yesterday, and some dude was diving in the deepest pool, and I started freaking out watching it because it looked like it was 200 feet, and it just kept on going down. Nah, ocean.
Sheesh. Yeah, ocean, same for me, to be honest. I love the way the ocean looks. Like, I love going to the pier to go stand out, gather my thoughts, stuff like that. But I would not want to be in the water for too long. Yeah. I'm not that good of a swimmer. And I start freaking out when I'm underwater for too long, and I haven't got my breath yet. So water for me, nah. The space is amazing as well. I think if I had myself like a little astronaut suit, I'd be chilling. I'm not really scared or nothing.
Yeah, I agree with y'all with the ocean thing because I think this the ocean like hasn't even fully been discovered yet. Exactly. That's the scary part.
We got no clue what's down there, yo. And I can't float. I can swim, but I can't float.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So just to keep going down low.
A couple minutes of this. A couple minutes of this.
Yeah, it's quiet. I almost drowned as a kid.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. A couple weeks ago.
All right. What does a good relationship look like to y'all?
Healthy relationship.
And let's compare how it was, which I think it was before Christ and now with Christ.
Oh, because we all in Christian relationships right now, right? Hella dope.
Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all go first then because I think mine's been the longest after 3. Yeah. So go when they all can.
Got it, Zozo.
Yeah. So, outside of Christ, looking for a woman, is not the best thing at all. Because you know what you're looking for. You're looking for some well-shaped woman. I mean, we're not even looking for the girl with the best personality or nothing like that. It's just like, if she look a certain way, if she act a certain way, she calm. But now I can't let like just anybody next to me. It's not. I can't. Definitely not long term at all. But in Christ, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not just looking for physical, but you can't be chopped. But I'm not just looking for physical. I'm looking for, relationship with Christ, zeal, tenacity in some area. Looking for something more in life. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. And I feel like before Christ, I guess for me personally, I didn't have like a really like a long term mindset. Like, feel me? It was just like, this is what I want now, and like. There was never really no goal in the relationship. Like, it's just like this one with like whatever happens, happens. And like that was normal. Like, that's culture. Like breaking up with your girlfriend, getting a new one the next day, like that's normal or whatever.
Yes, bro.
But I feel like now, like in Christ, like having a relationship with Christ is like just a certain goal, and you have like a structure and a mindset and like some certain stuff to meet. Like you have structure and a plan with Christ in it.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to put it. Like relationships in Christ, you have a plan, and not just have a plan. There's more confidence in the plan. I think for me, relationships before Christ, uh, toxic. To be honest with you, I think when you know how it's supposed to be, and you look back like that, these are my relationships before Christ. Like this is terrible. I think about the relationship I'm in now with the relationship I was in prior, the immediate prior one. I always talk about her. I never showed y'all her, but like it was really just about looks mostly. About looks, and I'm like, you know what, Dad, this is perfect. Like, I got me a John who I can like brag about physically for the rest of my life. So yeah, so I think one of the biggest things about because relationships before Christ, as from a believer mindset perspective, you're unequally yoked. I think the crazy thing about that is the term is called missionary dating. So I was missionary dating because it's like, all right, I'm dating you with the hope, the expectation that I can one day bring you to Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you compromise.
Yeah.
You compromise so much. It's like I know we drinking and smoking, and it's not good. But I'm gonna get you to Christ one day, and then you can stop. Because I can stop, but once I get you on board, then we can stop together. So for now, I guess we can drink, smoke, and have sex today. It's no big deal. But you compromise yourself that way, and it gets so toxic, unhealthy. Like y'all both said, it's not really, you don't really even look long term. Even when you find the person you want to go long term with, there's issues that arise. And for me now to have to be a Christian in the relationship I'm in now, it's different. It's like it's real. Like I can actually be honest about myself and vulnerable about thought process and emotions and just how I kind of perceive life. And I think as a believer to have something that's real and private like your relationship with God and to kind of share that with someone else of the opposite sex and kind of grow together in that way, there's not many things better than that. You can really find intimacy in that way. So yeah.
Facts.
What's the difference between like we're just both Christians in a relationship, or just having like a real relationship built on God?
I think fear the Lord, yo. Fear the Lord, because I remember I dated a girl my senior year of college. I dated a girl who I actually met at my sister's wedding. Yeah, I met her at my sister's wedding. Nigerian girl, Christian, going to church and whatnot. But when you're just Christians, when dating and different between like, all right, we got a relationship with God. You can be a Christian. No relationship is a relationship. So if you're not actually pursuing your relationship with God, then there's nothing really happening with God. So everything that's happening could be of anything. So we were dating, and we were still doing whatever. We're still drinking. We're still smoking. And then and then we'll go to church and just normally pray and stuff. And it's like I don't know. Like it's so unhealthy when you even think about it. And it's like, man, I think Christian dating and having a relationship with God dating,
it's different.
There's really different. There's just things you just wouldn't do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I dated a couple girls who were Christian, self-professed, like they're Christian, like a Christian, but it's like still do whatever.
All right, Manny, what do you think is the personal effect, like you personally growing in your relationship? Like now that it's in Christ, like do you see that it brings something out of you that it didn't bring out before?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's going back to the first thing I mentioned. You kind of really figure out who you are. You can actually figure out who you are. Because one thing I feel like we all need in this world is somebody to really be able to communicate with. And sometimes we just need to, we all have a lot of obviously different thoughts and different voices we hear and stuff like that. But you need somebody to kind of bounce that off to, And for me personally, it's a trust issue. I've said it to y'all before. I don't trust myself, So I need to find somebody I can trust. And I got that. So I was able to talk about things that I would just suppress if it was just, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. Let me just suppress it. I think for me, it's the growth has been in trust, vulnerability, honesty, and that's been spewing off to other things for me and my family, to people I work with, to people I talk to every day. So yeah.
Facts. I got a question.
Yeah.
Go
You
ahead.
know, the Bible says that if a man finds a wife, you know, he finds a good thing. So what age do you think, or what age do y'all think is a good age to start looking for a wife?
Go ahead, Keish.
I would think age. I don't really think it's an age thing. I think it's a maturity thing. Like what I learned is that basically like you're basically bumping into your wife when you're doing God's purpose. Like when you're just focusing on what God is doing to you, you basically bump into your wife. That can happen at any age. So I really don't think it's like age thing. Like, oh, God says like, because there's some people that met their soulmate at 13, grew up with them their whole life. So I really don't think it's an age thing.
Yeah, I think when it's done the right way, and that's how the prefix is, because when it's done the right way, to your point, what you said, is when you're doing your thing with the Lord, then it kind of just unfolds in your lap. And it's not like you really have to, going back to that Psalms 139, when it's like, oh, you were made, you were pretty much made in the secret place. It doesn't take, you don't have to be kind of on your walk with God for like 5, 10, 20 years. It's like, I bet now I've matured to the point where I can find somebody. But there's literally like a basic relationship with God level of maturity that's needed. And then you're able to find somebody. But to put a number on it, I think with the hope and expectation that people who are teenagers are actively maturing in Christ, honestly, I think as early as are we saying today or get married?
Today.
Today? Yeah, as early as 1920, honestly. Yeah. If they're maturing in Christ the way they're supposed to by like high school, or even just by like the age of 17, honestly, then I'll say 1920 for sure.
I think it's more of like a God thing. Like I think like if you're led by God to enter a relationship, then go ahead. But if it's not, if it's all just carnal and you're just, oh, she's Christian, I'm Christian, let's just do it. Then I mean that doesn't really make sense to me. So yeah.
I like what you said at the end. She's just Christian, I'm Christian. Apart from seeking God on it, you think are there signs that show that like she's like this is going to be something real from the beginning?
That's a great question. I'd say yes, because so I probably actually dated maybe 5 or 6 women in my life. The amount of women I've dealt with, slept with, and encountered, way higher. But and to the point of the question, you know by how serious you take them. I think, at least for me, I know. Like I said, I've done a lot with different people. I've only dated like 6 of them, and that's because like one, it's all the pre anything questions that you kind of ask in your head. Oh, can I see myself this person? 2, can they kind of fit in my system? And kind of how, and 3, like their mentality and personality. If they can pass these questions, then 1, I believe that I'll give you a chance, period. And then 2, how vulnerable and real can I get with you? How quickly can I be vulnerable and real with you about life, about myself, about my perspective, about my relationship with God? For me, that's when it's I bet I'm at the point where you know what, if I can, the earlier I can do that with the girls, all right, man, I'm really considering you right here. So I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm going to see how you can handle it early. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like for me, I mean, I agree with the how serious I take it as well, because I never really took a relationship as serious as I've been taking it. But as well as seeing positive changes in my life, it feels like a real partnership, like a real thing, like a real. I see relationships as an investment. When I see the growth and investment, I'm like, okay, this is a beneficial investment. This is good. Lucrative. productive. And I do feel like in your relationship, if you're not seeing a benefit at all, even if it's just stagnant, if it's just flat like this, it's not a good investment. It has to be going up. So that's how I see it.
What does going up look like to you?
To me, spiritual growth, mental growth,
Character.
character, yeah, as well. Character as well. If somebody comes into your life and some of the bad things you saw yourself doing and that you feel like you couldn't break before starts to break, you're like, okay, God is doing some work in me with this person.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's like, and not even from a prideful way. I feel like everyone has like I would hope to believe, or even I know for myself, there's a certain level of self confidence that you just have. Like, yo, I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty damn great. And if you can make me better, because that's the job of anyone's wife or husband. But if you can actually make me better, then yo, you're diff. And it's like, man, I'm seeing growth in me because of you directly. Yeah, you're diff for sure. There's that growth.
Is there a time frame surrounding with that growth? It's like, at which point do you realize it's like, nothing's like going up from here? Like after how long?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, if you just get into a relationship with somebody and you don't really know them and there's no real, for me, it was like almost right away, because it was like, oh, if you want to be with me, you got to get on this type of timing. So like, that's kind of what girls do sometimes. It's like you realize that for you to be with this person, that you can't continue on with some of the other ways that you were doing in the past. So for me, it was like immediately, I know if I really want to chase something with this girl, my mindset got to be different. I got to be praying more. I got to press on harder, because if you end up marrying this person, you're going to have to be the head of the household.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I was telling her the other day, because she's also going into the medical field. I'm going to the medical field as well. I was like, for the first time, I'm actually anxious about how I'm going to do in life, because I know that I don't want to be second. I want to be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So I had to grind, and it's only been like a month or something like that, and I'm already picking up. I'm not sleeping. I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta work. So if that thing's instantaneous, oh my, you better chase that thing. I love the growth that's been taking place. So.
I think that's a valid point. I would say if there's no growth in yourself, a month to 3 months in, then I don't know if this is the person for you. But because to Mike's point, like not even just about being the breadwinner, it goes back to like, yo, I gotta this girl's expecting me to lead her for the rest of her life. How am I leading my life right now? Where am I slacking? Let me pick up the slack in my life real quick, because I got to be the head of this home, which is her, and however many kids come that way. And then, just the whole genealogy of what that can be, that starts with me now. So it's like, man, my mentality has to switch. I had to get serious about, you got to have those conversations you've never had before. The first time, this is, I won't even make this up. I got my freshman year of college. She was so old. There was a grad student basketball player that was just she was fire. Light skinned Nigerian, John, tall, curly hair, half Nigerian, and she's like 6 feet tall. Yeah.
What's the other hair?
Like Puerto Rican or something.
Whoa.
I'll show y'all a picture. She's fire. I'm texting her, and this is my freshman year, and I'm texting her. Like T9, not necessarily T9, but I'm texting her. I'm using like numbers and stuff like that. So instead of writing TO, I'm writing 2 and Gunna and stuff like that. She goes, "Why do you text like that?" And I mean, I've been texting like that for a minute. I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Yeah, like nobody texts like that. Like, grow up." Since that day, I've been writing things. I write complete words. Probably like the only word I probably don't write out is probably. Sometimes I'll probably say probably. I've been writing complete words since, because it's like, yo, I need to change. It's like, I need to raise my standards up a little bit. You feel me? So the right person definitely would do that to you, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these guys, they hop in relationships and they just the same person.
Yeah.
Well, how could you be the same person? I'm like, if the girl is really something different, you cannot be the same trash that you were. You can't still be doing the same nonsense that you were doing before at all. I don't know though.
Yo, man, you said something about leading the girl. What does leading her look like in a marriage?
Yeah, that's a big question. And it's tough because it's like when you're leading, you know, you are the decision maker. And there's a trust factor in your judgment. But at the same time, we got to understand it's not a dictatorship, which is, you know, and I feel like, I mean, I'm not married, but I feel like it could be a tough balance for certain marriages. I'm not dictating this marriage. I'm not dictating this house. I'm leading it. So I'm explaining myself when I feel like I need to, but I'm explaining myself, and sometimes I'm really not. And at the same time, it's just like, there's a security factor that I have to be on top of. You know, I gotta fill in the gap. I gotta fill in the void. Okay, cool, she's cooking and stuff. What am I doing? You know, I'm not just sitting down, like just I don't know. I'm not just doing nothing. You feel me? I gotta, like I said, there's this security factor. You know, that has to be there because they want to feel safe. And heck, if I'm leading, I'm treating it. The images that come to my head is like, you know, I think of Mufasa and I think about the ape from Tarzan. Legit. Like I'm leading a pack of people that depend on me. So I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm answering every question before it's even asked. And I'm taking care of it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh, for me too. Yeah, leading is taking responsibility, like being on top of it. You know, like you the man of the house. Like my dad can't be sitting around when something start leaking. My mom not getting that. Who gonna get that? My dad on top of that thing immediately. He can't be seen just sitting around doing nothing when there's work to be done in the crib. He be doing some things that my mom should be doing sometimes because you know he just got to be on top of it. He's the head of the house. I mean, women. Some women be like, "Oh, that's not right," you know. Men are the head. That's not good. I'm like, but do you realize what that entails? Like, it's not like it's like luxury. It's like vacation. You gotta work. We're not giving ourselves a free pass.
Exactly.
We're giving ourselves more work.
Yeah. Wow. I think, that's the perfect way to say it. You're giving yourself more work. That's it. Like I'm literally giving myself more work. Like you said, I'm not expecting you. You know, it's so crazy because like as growing up as a boy, most of the things you complain about, that's the man's job. I don't want to take out the trash. Like I don't want to have to fix this and that. Yeah, if you're gonna be a man, that's exactly what you're gonna have to do. And you're gonna have to do that with no questions asked. It's expected that you do that. Your wife is not doing that. Yeah.
Do you think you should start leading? Like, should you see leading in the dating stage, or that's too much?
I think you should see it in your single stage. Going back to what I just said about like taking out the trash and fixing things around the house and a level of excellence you should have. So definitely it should be in the dating stage. I think it's expected in the dating stage. I mean, at least from the relationship I'm in, it's expected in the dating stage for sure. Because you dating, your dating period, no matter how long you dating before you get married, if it's like 6 years, 6 to 10 years before you get married, or like a year or two, that's just this is a tiny piece of how things should look when you're married. You know, so if you can't lead now, then how are you going to lead later?
Yeah, I actually agree with that 100%. That's something I'm praying to God for, you know, to make me a man for real. Because some areas I think I'm a good guy, like I'm a man, but now I'm not really. Like I need to really learn to take responsibility. Because if I don't learn now, when am I gonna learn? You know. So I remember I was watching a video about forest fires, right? And what they said is basically, you know, we think that forest fires are bad, but forest fires at the right time are good. So it's like if what happens is in the forest, like wood piles, it piles up. So a little bit of fire at the right time is good for the forest. But if you allow it to pile, then it's gonna be a huge fire. So it's knowing what to do at the right time. It's like nipping it in the butt, working on yourself now. So at the end of the day, you won't have to deal with all of that. Oh, how do I be a man now? You know?
Mm. So how does working on yourself look like if you're single or like 12 years old or 15?
Yeah. I think that's when you're single, money management. How am I spending my money? Am I saving money? One. Two, as a man, am I taking responsibility in areas of like the bills I may have to pay? Heck, am I even paying bills at all? And if you're not, then you better really be saving money, And then even in terms of just when you're single, I think it's a good stage because obviously you need to learn how to lead your own life essentially, and like Mike was saying, just being on top of what's on your plate now. So it's like, man, I can't expect myself to be a man, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but I know like married men who are well into their marriage in their 40s who are still playing video games, and and like I'm saying, there's nothing. Is there something really wrong with that? Maybe not, but it's like I think I don't know. There's just a mentality that could just be a stigma, but there's just a mentality of like that one should have. I feel like just some things you got to grow out of. I could be wrong. It could just be a hobby type thing.
Nah,
but it's just
probably.
like, I don't know.
I'll probably say maybe nah, I'm gonna still play my video games, but it's probably the level that we used to play when you were kids. Like,
Yeah.
I grew out of that, bro. Like I used to
like all the time.
Yeah, bro.
Video games, I really grew out of it. I just have a whole bunch of games just sitting in the crib because it's like, oh no, I don't really. Not only do I not have time for it, I just don't really. It's not the same kind of fun that it was anymore. Now I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to do this, trying to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I'm kind of relating it to. Just like because time is money. So yes, it could be a hobby, but like you're saying, Keish, I don't 3, 4, or 5 hours. Nah, bro, you can't be doing it. I know, like men in their 40s, 3, 4, 5 hours they playing video games at home. I'm like, bro, I don't know. Maybe it's working for you, but I don't know. That can't really work for me. Time is money. I got a family to provide for, especially that age.
Yeah, but some people. Do you think that you can work on your relationship with Christ while being with someone else? Because there's people that like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship until I get to this certain point with Christ or whatever. But I feel like you're always growing, like because there's always going to be once you reach that stage, there's always going to be another stage that you want to reach, and before you know it, your life is done.
You said, could you grow your relationship with Christ while in a relationship with somebody that's not in Christ?
Yeah.
With somebody that's not in Christ?
Oh no, and like in general.
Okay, in general.
Well, so for of course, like outside of relationship, 100%, bro. In fact, I encourage people to know who they are by themselves first, because that's something that I had to learn. Because like when you surround yourself with people, sometimes you start to become somebody else. And when you spend time by yourself, you really understand and take hold on who you are and what your abilities are, what your capabilities are. So that growing stage first before getting into a relationship is necessary. Growing with Christ before you get into a relationship with a person is necessary. So because if you get into a relationship with somebody who's already further along in Christ, you're just baggage for them. And the same way for you, if you're trying to grow your relationship with Christ and the person that you're with is not really like that in Christ, you're carrying the person. That's what I was doing in one of my relationships. I was trying to get her to read the Bible. I was trying to get her to pray. I started doing that, and I started telling people, like, yeah, me and my girl, blah, blah, blah. But once I fell, we both fell, and it was hard to pick her back up with me because it was like, now I got to start back from ground here, and she's now like, so.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. It's so crazy because the point that you just made indirectly, I was just actually checking my devotional that I do with my girlfriend just to see if she did it, and she did. But it's like, you
Just
have to.
remind her.
So the answer is yes. Like, you have to work on your relationship with Christ changes because I think it changes to a level where you're growing individually, and then there's an aspect of your relationship that y'all are growing together. Um, but that individual one is still first because Christ is still personal with you. So that has to be there. And then there's the aspect of you guys can grow together. Like me and my girl, I'm not even sure how many devotions we've done together now. And like to Mike's point, if I slack, she's gonna slack, because you're the leader in that way. And they go off, not they go off everything you say, but if you can
They're
lead,
watching.
huh?
They're watching you.
Yeah, they
Like your
watching
kid.
you. Yeah, they watching you. Like, and if you can lead properly, if you say no, it's no. If you say yes, it's yes. Especially when it comes to the relationship with God, especially when it comes to that, because you're expected to lead, so you can't slack off. And I think what's also really important is making sure whoever you're dating, talking to, marry, has their personal relationship with God, because at the end of the day, when you're not there, God has to be there. At the end of the day, it's not going to be perfect between y'all two at all times. So either she's going to run to her friend who probably didn't like you from the jump, or she's going to run to God. so if she can run to God first, and heck, maybe even God only, then that's great. But she needs to have that relationship with God. So you need to push her to have that if she doesn't. Yeah.
Right. And on your point of when you say no, it's no. When you say yes, is yes. They watching. The same thing. Like when your yes starts to become no, and your no starts to become yes, you start switching up. You start to lose credibility. You start to lose some respect. And when you say, okay, let's go and become Christian again, they're like, I don't really. Are you really? Is this really what we're doing again? No, I don't know about that. That's what started happening to me, because it was like when I backslid and she backslid too. It was like, you're not even really on that timing. Not really. Your yes just became a no. So mine is a no as well.
How important is privacy in a relationship?
So important. It's so important. It's so important because, and it's hard with women because, like, when women really fall in love, it's like they really just want you around all the time. They want to talk to you all the time. And in a toxic way sometimes, if she's not the right person, and in a non-toxic way, that's still a little too much. Like, yeah, I want you to call me when you get off work. I do want to talk to you. But don't call me every day when you get off work. There's some days where I just need to just be me, yeah. There's some days I just need my me time. I can't FaceTime you all the time, like every night. I can't go out with you every night. Or we can't do something every single day. So I actually ran into that issue 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. I went out with my girl. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday. It was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And Wednesday came and I'm just like, yo, this is my off day. Like, I already pre-recorded each hour yesterday. This is my just chill day. I want to just relax. She hit me up talking about, we might as well, I work Thursday. I got one more day. Let's do something. I'm just like, and yeah, it's like, I don't know about that. And then it's like, you don't want to put yourself in a position where, and I think this is huge for men. You don't want to be, and they don't want a yes man. That's one. And two, it's like, you got to know when to just put your foot down and be like, nah, like, I'm not trying to do this today, or because I just need my me time. And I think somebody who's understanding will understand that, and someone who has a relationship with God will understand that, because you need time for your own personal relationship with God to work. Now, long story short, did we hang out that day? Yeah. But I told her that day, like, yo, listen, listen, this not happening again. I'm gonna let you slide.
This time.
Because we've been having a decent last couple of days. It's actually been really lit. But it ain't happening again. I need my me time. And I'm gonna get it. But yeah, I think privacy is so important, because you got to breathe your own air. Like, yeah, you join and become one, but I'm still, there was a me before us. I need to chill with me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, privacy is necessary. You know, I feel like maybe it's because it's like this is like the earlier stages, but it's like
Mhm.
I like her company a lot.
Mhm.
So I feel like later down the line, then it's probably gonna turn to why you calling me right now? I'm kind of busy. When I'm not busy, I just don't be feeling like talking. I do remember that with my ex girlfriend was like, I used to always love talking to her all the time. All of a sudden, I see the call and I'm like,
Not
I'm
today.
busy. Not today. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
We touched on personal privacy, but what about privacy of the relationship? Like when it comes to y'all relationship and outsiders,
Mm.
whether it be
So,
family, friends.
you go first, Mike, if you want to.
wait, say that again.
We talked about private, like individual privacy just now, but what about like
Relationship privacy.
privacy in your relationship, like when it comes to friends, family, stuff like that?
Or like knowing about it and stuff.
Like
Sheesh.
yeah, like
Yeah.
how much should they know? How much should they not know?
Oh, they should not know anything. I mean, not too much. You know, mind your business, like. You feel me? I'm trying to, but when people get in your business too much, it start getting toxic. Like I know people be dealing with the whole, when are y'all gonna get married? When are y'all gonna? I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want nobody asking me, Nathan, bro, leave me alone. I know family members that be getting asked that all the time. When are y'all gonna get married? When y'all gonna get married? But like, I don't know. People love to get in people business, and I know when I was in high school, I didn't like telling too many people when I'd be talking to a girl, because then all of a sudden things aren't going too good. People start saying this happened, too much chit chat. I don't like it. I especially don't like girls' friends. Girls' friends are toxic. Stay away.
Let me see. How would I answer this question? So I think there's two ways to answer this question. First, I would say in terms of physically together being private, y'all shouldn't be obviously together in like someone's room. I think because the temptation, and things like that nature. Um, but to Mike's point, it just and to just the knowing of, I think it's situational depending on your relationship with your family and stuff like that. For me, things gotta be I private. I dated 6 people. I told y'all. I think I only told my siblings about the last three, and only to my parents about the one I'm in now. Like it's private like that. Like I don't trust. I don't trust. I don't trust myself. So I don't trust y'all. And y'all gonna be so
Yeah.
annoying asking about this person every single day, wondering this, that, and the third. Parents having a gazillion questions about every single thing, and it's like I need this privacy. I do, and it's just so I can breathe, just so I feel like we can grow without the pressure of y'all just on it, and that pressure could be good pressure or bad pressure, but I just don't want it either way. So yeah.
Yeah, you touched on something earlier about your girl, about a girl, like you don't want her like running to your best friend, like you want her to run to God or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I fake agree with that because it's like, because I feel like when you're in a relationship, whatever, like you're more forgiving or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep running outside to your problems, they don't forget. For me, they don't forget the first thing you told them. So it's just gonna keep adding up, adding up, adding up. How y'all feel about that?
It's relationships are interesting, man. You gotta really, it's something that teaches you, like, you gotta turn down, you gotta be humble. You have to. If your relationship don't teach you to be humble, then I mean, I guess if you need it, my relationship has taught me to be humble, because there's things it's like, all right, I need to apologize. Did I technically do something wrong? No, I personally did do nothing
Oh
wrong,
God,
and I
you
know I
preaching, yo.
didn't. But I
He's
know
preaching.
you're looking for this apology, one, and technically, because of the situation, I guess I probably should apologize. So it's like, you have to fight that. I'm not apologizing. Like, no, like for what? Like, I didn't do nothing, to really being submitting and be like, all right, you know what? At the end of the day, it goes back to, like, do I want to just prove a point, or do I want it to get past this point? Do I want to keep going? And it's like, fine, like, that was me yesterday. Like, fine, I'm gonna take care of this business. Let me apologize. Let me, because I deal with, so let me tell you what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Long story short, I was with my girl, and some other girl called my phone. That's been a nuisance for a very, very long time. And it was not a good look. Now, it's not my fault. Technically, it's not my fault at all. One, two. Should I have capped the situation a long time ago? Completely, maybe debating, depending how you want to look at it. But three, after what happened yesterday, now I had to. Now I can't just be like, oh, like it's not. I can. There's nothing I can say, but cap it now. Something I can say, but handle the situation, and not only handle the situation, I have to apologize about it. I had to be just be up front with it and be clear, like, all right, she was probably calling because of this reason. Definitely didn't tell her to call me. Definitely not reach out to her. But now I told her, which is a conversation I had with that girl today and with my girl today. Now I told her she should never ever dare in her life contact me ever again because I will go crazy. You have no place. I sent the girl a voice note 3 minutes long. Like, I'm not interested. Literally never was. Don't know why. Yada yada yada, and things of that nature. And then I not only did I had that, I sent that girl the voice note. I told my girl about it. Then sent my girl the voice note on top of that. And it's like, listen, and that so that's my thing. Like, this is one relationship in my entire life where I've been honest, vulnerable, transparent, and upfront with everything. Because before, like, as a man before, it's like, yo, you can get away with things. I cheated on all my girlfriends in the past. I cheated on every last one of them because I can get away with it, and just because it's that simple and easy to do that. And then I've allowed people to that didn't cheat on, didn't care to cheat on or whatever, but to kind of just sit there and flirt and be hitting on me or whatever, just not really be like, nah, and it became a problem. So it's like, you know what? I need to just be taking care.
You kind of get used to that, like
you get used to it.
When person saying you look good, you just like,
yeah, it's like, whatever. And they don't listen. If you don't tell them, if you don't put your foot down every time, at least for like 4 or 5, because girls won't stop trying. They won't try once. They're gonna keep trying. If you don't put your foot down for at least the first and for 5 times, it's gonna be a problem. They're never gonna stop.
That's what happened to me. Like, it ended like last week. Like, I was letting her flirt, and I was just letting her. I wasn't doing too much, and then it led to something else. I had to tell my girl about it and cut it off. So
it keeps happening to me.
Yo, you said something. Yo, I got a question. In that situation, what do y'all think is the best option to do when a girl is calling your phone? Why with your girl? Like, not answer it or pick it up? Like, if the girl sees somebody else calling you,
not answer it. I mean, not answering it doesn't seem like a good look, in my opinion. I think if your girl already sees the girl's name in your phone and you just hang up in front of your girl, she's like, yo, you know how girls go in their head, bro. I gotta pick it up. Yo, I'm with my girlfriend right now. I'm gonna catch you later.
That's a bad look too, though.
It's a bad look. I'm listening. So you gotta.
Yeah, you're pretty right. They be thinking.
It go back to from the jump being honest and transparent about everything. So for me yesterday, it was crazy because my phone's in my pocket and I felt it vibrating, and I only picked. It was my little brother, my dad. I would have picked up, or my mom. Anybody else I would have picked up. So I pulled it out to see who it was. And I'm just like, oh, and she's like, who is it? I showed her exactly who it was, and she knows how I feel about. Like, I don't hate nobody. I can't stand this person. I don't know why they contact me. So I just put it back in my pocket. I don't pick it up. And she's like, no, you should pick it up. I said, nah, I'm not picking it up. First of all, the moment she said that, I'm just like, what would I even say? Like, what would I like? I wouldn't even pick up this phone call normally, and now you want to pick it up in front of you? I'm not picking it up. I'll handle it later. I'm not gonna pick it up. I don't care how bad that look is.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Or hopefully, I really want to get to the point where I'm married. Honestly, and this is very true. I tell my girl this, like, oh, listen, I'm not. All females gonna have to be directed to you, redirected and directed to you. I'm not handling nothing. If they want my number, I'm giving them your number, and I'm gonna let you know that. I'm gonna let you know that, hey, they probably think it's you or whatever, but this person got my number and they gonna hit you up. I don't want to deal with it at all, and I want to, because I know how easy that can mess up my entire life. Like, I know how easy with my past with women. I know exactly how easy that'd be. So I'm gonna put up the right walls and boundaries. Once I get married, every female that's not my blood is getting directed
That way, the right way.
How
That's
I
wisdom.
feel about friendships and boundaries. Like before Christ, like I kind of still have this mindset, but before Christ, I didn't see like the point of me being friends with another female. Feel me? Like it's either we're or like why are we friends? Like you
I
feel me?
still don't do
You
that.
go ahead,
So
Mike.
I,
You go
Don't
ahead.
do it at all. I just don't, bro. I don't like. I don't see the purpose of it. Like, why you here? Like in the past, it used to be like, if I'm not like on you, then why am I talking to you? Like, I don't know. But now it's like I have a girlfriend, so if I let a girl too close, something could lead to something. So that as well on top, not on top. I don't need nothing, but that I got a girl, so it's quiet. Like Manny said, that way.
That way. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. It's worse as a believer than a non-believer. It's worse
you
as
got
a
to be
believer
nice.
because one, not only do you have to be nice, I truly believe that single, not like there's anything wrong with them, single women,
When they
who
know
are
you in a relationship,
who are Christian single women, they're just as worse just because they'll act the same and they're Christian. They'll act the exact same and they're Christian. So if you're gonna have friendships at all, there has to be wild boundaries. Like for me, I had to refix the boundaries of the female friendships I have. And it's and my issue, like you said, Keshon, I really am a nice guy generally. So I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, we can be friends as long as these boundaries are in place. I had this conversation. I would show y'all the girl. I showed the girl to Adam because I was like, Adam, listen. The girl I was talking about who lives in South Carolina, she hit me up like a month ago and just slid into my DMs and on something regular. And we were kind of going back and forth. And then she gave me her number. I was like, all right, well, no, I'm not, obviously like this is not this is not what I was thinking, but okay. I said, listen, you're a great person. Like we can actually really be friends. I'm in a relationship and we're gonna need to have boundaries if that's the case. Spoke to her about the boundaries. I got on the phone. I called her, talked for 2 hours about why I need boundaries. Hey, listen, we can have these boundaries and we can be friends. The problem there is you don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to be friends with everybody, especially with Christian ladies, because it's like that. Let's have these boundaries. They're gonna test the boundary every time. That's what we all. I'm about to say that's what women do. We all do that. They're gonna test those boundaries to see if they really hold up. So me and this girl had to like after 2-3 days, she was like, you know what, she can't do it. And then we just stopped. We stopped talking as friends. And like, hey, it had to happen. I had a girl from Lithuania from Lithuania slid into my DMs this year. And I was like, boundaries. We gotta have boundaries. And she said, no. What? First of all, you're not even here. You're not even here.
Go from friend slud.
And she said no. And I said, well, we can't be friends because I can't risk it. I can't risk, like I said to y'all the other day, emotional cheating is worse than physical cheating. It is way worse. Emotional cheating is way worse. I can't risk that. And it's so much easier because of the distance to do something like that. So
That's a fact.
the boundaries have to be like, they gotta be there.
I don't know really don't know why I'm like this. Like I had this conversation with my girl too. She's like, so if we broke up, like will we still be friends? I was like, what? I'm not gonna lie. You go. Go the same day. I don't know you. I mean, you talk to me like here and there, but like we're not gonna be.
I like to say yes to those questions, but deep down, I've been like,
yeah, make them feel good. But
maybe for like a week or two, just so like it. And to me, like when they ask that, oh, if we're not dating, can we still just be nice to each other? Like, yeah, of course. That's how I hear it, though. That's how I hear it. Like, yeah, we can definitely still we cool, but
not text me on the same type of every day or every other day. It's quiet.
Yeah, once a week, once a month. Honestly,
once a month. That's
once a month. Yeah.
I got no female friends, bro. Don't talk to me.
Yo, let's go back to boundaries. What's some boundaries that you think men should set?
I got my boundaries are legit, and they're calm, to be honest. No females can hit me up after 9:30. That's one. Two, don't send me no pictures. And that sounds kind of like women be like, oh, like what outfit should I wear today? Don't send me don't send me videos on Snapchat with you in like 5 different outfits. What are you doing?
You know what they're doing.
Like, what do you know? What are you doing? That happened with the girl from a month ago. Boundaries. Next day, what should I wear? What? Like, stop. Like, I literally just had this boundaries conversation with you. Don't send me no pictures. Don't, like I said, don't call me late night. Don't reach out to me at a certain time unless it's an emergency. And really, that's all from them. And obviously, don't try to hit on me. Now, the boundaries I have for myself, I don't tell anybody, but really any girl mostly, anything that I haven't told my girl first. So let's say something like, let's say I'll be really facetious. Let's say I just get a call right now and I win $1 million, and I know my girl don't get off to work till like 10, and another female friend hit me up right now. Is like, oh, like, what's up? What happened today? I won't tell her. Just I won't tell her till after I tell my girl. And it's a emotional mental respect thing, honestly. No, we're definitely, and even if we're not talking late night, we're not having long phone conversations or FaceTime conversations. That's out. Like, I'm capping it at I'm about to say 30 minutes, and that's a lot. I'm capping it like 10 minutes. You feel me?
FaceTime is a demon, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo,
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
you FaceTime me, I'm not, and that's another thing. FaceTime, like, if you're FaceTime me, I'm not picking up on until I'll probably let you call through once, and then I'll pick up from another female, for real. I'm not giving you that mental satisfaction that, like, I'm here for you, because I'm really not. I'm not here for you. I'm here for my girl. I'm not that available for you, so I'm gonna present myself not to be. And I told girls this is my last boundary. Like, I'm going to intentionally not respond to your texts as fast. I tell them that, like, I'm intentionally not good. So don't expect me to, unless it's an emergency, don't expect me to respond as fast if I see it. Because I'm not developing that hunger to communicate with you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's not gonna be there for you. Sorry.
He said he tell him.
I tell them, and if you can't deal with these boundaries, then you can walk away.
Quiet. Wait, you talking about with your girl or just girls in general?
No, with girls in general. I tell them that, like, yo, if you can't deal with these boundaries because of the relationship I'm in, that's fine. Is it why? And they'd be like, why? Like, what is her problem? It's not her problem. It's a me problem. Like, I promise you, she don't even know about these boundaries. It's a me problem. I'm not doing this to myself. I'm not doing this with you today, girl. Sorry, it's out.
You think that you and your girl should talk about her boundaries, or that's just like a lack of trust in a way?
I think you can have the conversation. You can have the conversation. Trust is earned and developed. You know, you're not just going to trust somebody the moment you date them. Hell no. Hell no.
So
go ahead.
No, so have y'all talked about both of your pasts to each other?
Great question. So, like I said, this relationship, I was real open, honest, and transparent from the jump. My second date, I told her my whole past. Wow. I told her stuff that y'all don't even know, and she, and I often ask her, like, yo, how did you, like, what did you think about that? And she said the same thing. She said, yeah, I thought it was funny. And she laughed. I remember her laughing. She said, yeah, like, it made me laugh. I'm just like, yeah, you're crazy. Like, I just told you about a lot of stuff, yo. Told you about everything, yo. And you thought it was crazy. We talked about our body count and stuff.
My girl don't even really like hearing about that kind of stuff. I don't like. I could notice like had like shifting a little bit like when I start talking about it. So I try to limit like anything that has to do with any other girl than her to like a minimum. You know,
not only to a minimum. The way you talk about any other girl has to be different. I'm not gonna get excited talking about no female. Nah. That's out.
Talk about every girl like they're dirt. Like that girl is garbage.
And I
be talking to my girl like she the best, like she the only girl on this planet.
Exactly. That's how it's gotta be.
Got to.
No, that's crazy, bro. So, all right, what happens when you see something that you don't like in a relationship? Like on your end, like you like, let's say you think like you're doing everything you could, like boundaries wise, but like you think this is something that your girl could be doing better, that like not letting like a certain boy or certain boys get too close. Like, do y'all have that conversation or?
Gotta talk. I feel like being open is very necessary, and if you don't nip it, quick could be a huge issue.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, that's how me and my girl try to go about things. I feel like with her though, I feel like she's not as open. With the, I don't even. She says that she likes everything about me. Like, how could you like everything? Like, there has to be some kind of. But she's a very laughy, and the ones that laugh the most are the ones that you can't really read into that easily. So I always like to think that I could read people, like I could understand you, what kind of a person you are, like what you're thinking. When somebody's laughing all the time, you can't really tell sometimes when they're thinking certain things. But I encourage her to talk more about things, and I talk too much anyways. Y'all know that.
Nah, that's valid. I think one thing me and my girl, we don't do a lot. We do actually. We were doing it a lot, but we don't do it that often now. We were doing it once a month actually, and we did it this month a couple weeks ago. We would literally say like, all right, how can we improve? How can you improve? Not even we. How can you improve? Like, and my girl is so raw and real. Lord, terrible. Like she don't hold back. So I'm like,
She don't.
She don't hold back. Like
Yoruba girls, man, that's how they
at
act.
all. But that's necessary because it's all about growth. So it's like, I bet, how can you be better? How can we be better? And then expectations on when you can be better with that stuff. Oh my god! But it's something like Mike said, you got to talk about it. You can't let things slide because you can't. You really can't, because the longer you wait, the more, like, let's say y'all dating somebody right now, and you have a problem with something they do, anything, I don't know, and you don't say nothing till you're married in 3 years in, and then you bring it up, and she's like, "Yo, I've been doing this since we were dating, like, and it's now a problem." And be like, "No, I actually always hated this," and it's like, are you kidding me? You never say anything, so you gotta be as soon as possible. You should talk about it. Yeah.
Facts. I agree. Yeah.
I was talking about being transparent and like how y'all just opened up to y'all girls or whatever. And for me, I think like the best thing is like when it's not forced. Like it just comes out. Like me, when I was opening up, I was shocked. Like, did I really just like? So I don't know. Was that the same experience for y'all, or did your girl like bring it out of you, or did you just like let it go for some weird reason? First time in your life.
I let it go. Go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I feel like if you're really comfortable with the person, it could be easier for you to do that. Sometimes when the girl gives you like the space, to really just express yourself. Like, some girls make it tough. It's like, I don't know. Some girls make it tough,
Yeah.
But some who are more open to feelings, you could kind of tell those ones. I had a girl who I could tell, like, if I start talking about how I feel, like the aura is a little different, and then soon enough, that's exactly what happened. When I start talking about how I'm feeling, and she act like she encouraged it, but you could tell like the respect is a little off. Like she acting a little different now. But with my girl, she makes it more easy to do stuff like that. So I go ahead.
Yeah. I like I'll tell you about that second date. It's interesting because she always asks like, "Yo, why did you just tell like your whole past?" I'm like, honestly, I really don't know. I just kind of felt like, it's about, I still don't know why I did it, to be honest with you. But part of me was just like, I've always said my next relationship, before that one, I always said my next relationship will be my last, and I'm not going to be the reason why it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, if it's because of anybody but me, I'll really be fine with that, honestly.
Yeah.
So let me just be real from the jump. And it was hard. Like I think I see why she thought it was funny, because of the way I would say it. But I'd be like, I kind of literally verbatim. I'm like, I kind of did this and that, and maybe a little bit of this, and just dropped it like that. And she was laughing. But it was hard for me to say because I had to be real. So I did just drop it out there and like, hey, listen, let whatever happens.
Yeah. And if she's the right person, she probably have a little bit more respect for you when you do.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, what's something that y'all like? I guess like we all could agree this is like your first like really, really like serious godly relationship. So what's something that like that like really like stood out to you that your girl did? It was like whoa, like this is serious. Like for my there was something that like made you like gain respect for her. Like for me personally, like, I remember this one time, but she was taking like mad long to test back. And I was like, why is she not testing back, whatever, bro? Did I just see like notifications from the Bible app, like just like her highlighting and reading? I was like, oh word, that's how you're moving. I bet, like
That's her. That's her. For me, it was she put boundaries between us, and that blew my mind, and it literally made me more attracted to her. We were what were we doing? I don't know what we were doing. I can't remember what we were doing initially, but we ended up just at the end of the night just like had like a wild makeout session at the park, and it got a little touchy got a little too physical. Let's say that. And we got in the car and we driving literally about 3-4 minutes into the drive. She's like, all right, so that was good and fun, but that's the last time that's happening. From now on, you can't do this. I'm not gonna do this. And I'm just looking at her like, that's good with me. Like, wow. Like, just honestly, it blew me away. I was just like, yo, she's different. She is so different.
Dope, bro.
Like, and I was blown away by that. And then another thing, very similar to what you said, Keshon. She was just like, she said this to me, and she has said this to me multiple times. Just like something along the lines of like, honestly, like I put like I feel strongly about you, whatever. But I love God more, and He will always come first before you, and that's never gonna change, and you're gonna have to accept that. And I'm like, okay, like okay, like okay, I can accept that. That's cool with me. So it's just like, man, that stuff is like, slaps me in the face every time.
Yo, she shot me with that one. So she know I don't want to say her name. I mean, nobody know who that is. Amanda. She know Amanda. So I used to be in a group chat with Amanda. And she basically told me how Amanda said how there was some girls in the group chat that liked me and blah, 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 blah. And because there was a different girl who was trying to talk to me. So she knew about that. And she was like, the only difference between me and these girls are they faint over you, but I faint over Jesus. Yeah. I'm like, damn. I mean, I was like, damn, but then I was like, wow. And then also the boundaries things as well, She definitely set boundaries. We watched the video like last week, where the video was basically saying the boundaries between this Christian couple, like a lot of things that they can't do. And one particular thing they said was that they didn't kiss at all until they found out that it was God's will that they are together 100%. And one of the first things she used to tell me, and y'all know about that she used to tell me was, ask God if we're good together. I'm thinking she telling me that because she don't even want me. I'm like, is that why you keep asking me, ask God? Because she thinking that we're not, like, this is just something that's not supposed to be. No, she dead likes me OD, but she really wanted to make sure it was within God's will before she went into the relationship. Yeah. And I still always pray, and we both pray every day type of thing. And so yeah, sometimes we pray midnight, sometimes we pray and we do Bible things together. So is that like her commitment to God is diff. And while we're together, which has only been a month, she got ordained. I'm like, nah, bro. I gotta turn up. The fire gotta increase crazy. So I've been praying. So you know that.
Yeah. Good talk, y'all. Follow Mr._Renaissance Man on Instagram, Manny. Follow Quarantine with Jesus. Go to quarantinejesus.com. Share your testimony anonymously. DM us if you got any questions, and we're gonna see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.